So again, everything that you do in training is at the expense of not doing something else. So therefore, if training time is precious to you, and it's a limited resource, whatever you're doing should yield a big result, right? It should pay big dividends. So sometimes I like to tell people to imagine this. Imagine you have $50 every time you work out. And everything that you're going to do in that workout costs something, okay? So jump rope. It takes a little bit of practice to jump rope. It's not the most complex, difficult thing to get going a little bit, but what is that, like $3, $4? Maybe $3 of your 50. Maybe it's a $2 thing, I don't know. Depends on how hard you think it is to jump rope. But let's say it costs a few bucks. Oof, something like Olympic lifting, clean and jerk. Oh, that's quite expensive, right? Yeah, it's expensive. It'll yield results, but man, that's pricey. I don't know if I'm looking at now, I have like $30-something left over, or $40-something left over after my warm-up. Do I want to spend all that money on clean and jerk as a generalist? Is there something else? Like, what's it going to do? It's going to make me stronger. Could I get stronger doing other things that would yield a very similar result? Yeah. Like maybe strongman training, farmer's walks, right? How expensive is a farmer's walk? Maybe it's $1. Pick up this heavy object and don't move, right? Keep the headlights straight. Okay, so it's $1, $2 worth of practice to understand the technique, and then we go. All right, even picking up Atlas stones. It's a pretty simple technique once you get it, right? It's about like a 4-minute conversation. I can explain to you how to pick up Atlas stones. So you start to see, like when you're looking at your workout and you're looking at all the different types of tools and implements that you might use and the complexity for them, what's the return and what's the cost, you know? So if you look at it as actual money, sometimes it can be really helpful. But think about it in terms of time. So there are some things that you can do with the clubs that are just awesome, but it's going to take you a very long time to be able to, access them. And what's going to be the reward? Mobility, yeah, coordination, sure. But what are you not doing while you're practicing all of these fancy club flares?
Everything else.
Everything else. All your other bread and butter. You're not working pushing, you're not working pulling, you're not getting stronger, you're not getting more flipping, right? So I like to try and keep certain things obviously very simple. Even if the more complex is going to yield almost the same result, the same reward, right? I'm going to have to spend so much more time for what? Just to be a little bit more supple in my wrist? I'm already getting that from a lot of the basic things. You see? So I keep how much money I'm spending on those simple movements, I keep it down. And then when there's something that, yeah, it is kind of complex, but man, it yields such a powerful result. A good deadlift is complex. You're going to need practice to get good at the deadlift. But it yields a really good result, right? It's okay. That's worth my investment, right? Does that make sense? So when people look at the clubs and they say, oh, I saw guys and they're doing like, wow, they're spinning it around and they're spinning it here and they're spinning it there. It's like, oh, that's great, but unless you're a professional club twirler, how much time do you need to spend at that? Let's get the max benefit out that we can, out of the tool, out of this tool, out of any tool, and also make sure that we have time, if we really want to be generalists, we have time for the other tools that we need to use and want to use, okay? All right, so